Good evening, Love Bay family. You're tuned in to the Mental Health Hour She Speaks, where we amplify women's voices, stories, and healing journeys. I'm your host, Felicia Fishoff, founder of Rooted in Resilience Psychotherapy and Wellness, where we believe that healing happens when we create spaces that honor both our strength and our softness. Tonight, we're exploring what it means to rebuild self worth after broken trust. What happens when the foundation you've built in love, friendship, or even within yourself starts to crack? How do you begin to trust again, to stand tall, and to remember your worth even after it's been shaken? To help us unpack this important topic tonight, I'm joined by the incredible Genevieve Lau, a therapist, speaker, and quite frankly, a relationship revolutionary who helps people and organizations transform how they connect and communicate. Genevieve brings a mix of humor, honesty, and heart to every space she enters, from her early days as a youth leader and playwright to her work as a psychotherapist, exploring the beautiful messiness of human connection. Together, we're diving into the real talk: how to heal after betrayal, how to rebuild without losing your softness, and how to step back into your power with compassion and clarity. And as always, a gentle reminder that the Mental Health Hour is a space for education, awareness, and community care. While we'll be talking about this very real topic and difficult emotions, this show is not therapy and it doesn't replace professional mental health support. If something we discuss tonight resonates deeply or brings up strong emotions, please reach out to a qualified therapist, counselor, or trusted support in your community. Healing happens best when we do it safely, and you don't have to do it alone. The chat is open, so join the conversation, and if you know someone who needs a message of hope tonight, invite them to tune in. And just a reminder to stick around tonight for our special edition episode, Weathering the Storm, a grief, hope, and healing space for Jamaica and the Jamaican diaspora, taking place at 8 p.m. right here on Love Bay Radio. All right, so let's dive in. Genevieve, welcome to She Speaks on the Mental Health Hour.
Hello, good evening. Hi, friend. Good to be
Yay!
here.
Oh my goodness. When I say I love this girl more than cook food,
Oh,
man, I tell you, she has a special place in my heart. Fun fact, she was actually supposed to be my first guest on the Mental Health Hour,
yes.
but you know
Woo,
what? Sometimes we gotta shift things around, and so
absolutely.
everything in its due time and in its due season.
Here
So
we are.
yes, here we are. So, Genevieve, usually the way that I like to start the mental health hours by asking, why does the Love Bay family need to be talking about this topic tonight?
Why? I think,
Hmm.
what topic are we talking about again?
Yeah,
Talking about
rebuilding self worth
guilt.
after broken trust.
Yeah. I think the reason we need to talk about it is
Yeah.
because trust, I heard this quote a long, long time ago.
Mm.
Um, Trust is lost in buckets and gained in drops. It is very easy to lose trust. One incorrect word, one unreliable situation,
Mm.
one phone call gone wrong, all of a sudden our trust is shaky. We start to
Yes.
doubt. And that can happen in any sphere, in any relationship, at any
Hmm.
time. And so
Hmm.
I think that we may take for granted how often our trust is tested and
Yes.
how often we do need to intentionally begin or continue to rebuild it. So
Ooh.
a, a lot of us, we go through life, we go through the days, we go through our relationships, we are at work and so on,
Hmm.
and we're in this like balancing act, this teeter totter. Like,
Yes.
can I trust that I'm going to show up for myself and my needs are going to be met? Can I trust that my job is going to be there tomorrow? Can I trust if I live in Jamaica that my house is going to be there tomorrow? Right? There
Wow.
are things happening in the world every single day that
Absolutely.
that impact our ability to predict,
Mhm.
to um, have confidence,
Yes.
right? To remain
Yes.
confident. Um,
Yes.
and then, yeah, just to trust ourselves and our capacity to our ability to handle things.
Absolutely. Girl, you just
Yeah.
gave us all the oxtail, the jerk
Things. Yeah.
chicken, the rice and
Oh, but I didn't even, you know what? I'm so sorry. That was sort of general, but trusting specifically after betrayal or after broken trust,
woo.
um, in a relationship, I
Yes.
think that we definitely need to address, because
Mm-hmm.
your relationship depends on it. Your
Yes.
relationship depends on trust. The
Yes.
foundation for connection and for safety, for security, for a sense of belonging, acceptance, all of the things that are necessary for human relationship, all our are built on trust.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the
Girl.
first building block.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yes. I loved exactly what you said about the fact that, trust, we can, you said something about it coming in drops, right? Like we
Yes,
build it
lost
in
in buckets,
drops, lost in
gained in
buckets,
drops.
and engage. Girl,
Yeah,
let's just even start there,
yeah,
right? Because I think that you're right. Like we do take this idea of trust for
yeah.
granted. I mean, there's two ends of a spectrum, right? You can give out too much trust too willingly. Like we as therapists, we could see that sometimes.
Mhm.
But then on the other end of the spectrum, sometimes we're afraid to trust again because
Yeah,
we've been hurt in
absolutely.
the most intricate of ways.
Yeah, yeah. It takes a lot to trust. It does take a lot to
Uh,
put our confidence in another human being. And it takes a lot to trust ourselves too. You
girl.
know, we often disappoint ourselves each day, but
Yeah.
I think it does take like an extra, sort of inner something to put
Mm,
our trust in another human being, because we know we are fallible and we have flaws. And so
mhm.
we know that disappointment is inevitable, right?
Yeah.
But there's a difference between you've disappointed me,
Mm,
um,
mm,
and you've betrayed me.
mm. Okay, so talk about the difference
So
between disappointment and betrayal.
disappointment comes when we talk about unmet expectations,
Mm-hmm.
and expectations are usually things that we have conversations about.
Mm-hmm.
So if I expect you to show up for me, I expect you to listen to me, to hear me,
Mm-hmm.
to address me in a particular way. I expect you to treat me a certain way. Usually, those expectations are born out of conversation. And so
Mm-hmm.
we teach one another day to day, like, how do we want to go about building this relationship? So we are both
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, we both feel safe, we both feel free to be vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
But there will be disappointments, because there's gonna be a day when I'm frustrated as heck, and I'm like, I don't need to, I can't, I just can't, I can't talk to you right now. I'm like, I'm at 50%. And so I may not be responding as,
Yeah.
openly or as nicely, as
Yes.
graciously, as patiently as I can.
Yes.
That is disappointing.
Yeah,
That is
absolutely.
disappointing. Um,
Absolutely.
and can be harmful if we don't do the work of recovery, right? So it's like,
Yes.
listen, my bad, I was hangry earlier,
Mm,
and I kind of snapped at you, my tone was a little bit off. My bad, I'm sorry.
mhm.
We do the work of repair and recovery.
Yes.
Or it can be, I mean, nowadays we do text messages
Oh
and
gosh.
the
Don't get
I
me
we call
started.
it emojis and the
Yeah.
gifs and all these things. So whatever way works for you to
Mhm.
recover,
Mhm.
and to create repair if there's been a rift or a disappointment.
Mhm.
But then there's betrayal. Betrayal is like, uh, blatant lies and deception. Like,
Mm.
there is never a conversation where we set that as an expectation. There's never, ever a conversation like that. Whether
Yes.
whether it's you and your parent, whether it's you and your spouse, whether it's you and your friend.
Yes.
No. "Oh,
Mm.
hey, so let's talk about the day when you're just gonna lie blatantly to my face."
Mm.
What?
Mhm. Mhm.
Just don't do that.
Yeah.
How do we live our lives in such a way that we don't have to lie? Like, what? You know what I mean? I'm like,
Absolutely.
that doesn't happen. Um,
Yeah.
so betrayal is a whole sort of other ball game that
Yeah.
that comes from a very sort of like I want to say like negative place. It comes from like manipulation. It comes from sort of that, um, again, deceitful,
Yes.
underhanded, that
Mhm.
kind of place.
Yes.
And I don't think disappointment comes from that. I think disappointments are going to happen because we're all different.
Mhm. And I think that, we're most afraid of being betrayed.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Like,
goodness.
I feel like it's not the disappointment so much, even though some people, like we all handle disappointment differently,
Mhm.
right? But the thing about betrayal is it just feels like someone has stabbed you in the back and just
Yeah,
twisted it.
yeah, because that's what's happening.
Yeah.
What? Yo, listen. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how many times I've heard some stories.
Ooh.
I think to myself, how did you not from the person who's been betrayed, from the
Yeah.
person who did the betraying.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
thinking, how in the world did you get there? How did you
Yeah.
come up with that plan? Like,
Mm.
you wrote it down or you thought it through, and then you probably said it out loud to yourself, "This is what I'm gonna do, this is what's gonna," and then you just kept going? Like, nothing in you said, "Maybe you should probably stop?" Nothing?
Yeah. Is it like a form of self-preservation almost? Like that they are doing this to, like, I don't even know. I'm not trying to make no
I'm not
excuses for
trying to get into the
nobody.
mind of the betrayer. In the mind of the betrayed. Um, yeah, no, I know, and that's just to simplify things, right?
Yeah,
I know it happens for many, many reasons,
of course, of
and
course.
pain is usually at the root. We know hurt,
110%.
that is the thing. Um, but either way, the impact and the effect is no different. It's no less just because you're hurting too, right?
Mm.
We still have to go about figuring out how to rebuild our trust and rebuild ourselves and rebuild our identities and rebuild our sense of self and sense of worth and all that kind of stuff. Like, the work still has to be done.
Absolutely. There's a saying that says, hurt people, but it don't make it any easier. It doesn't make it
No.
sting any less. Like, even though there's that understanding that, yes,
Yeah.
okay, hurt people, but
Mhm. For sure. And there's grace for that, I think. There's grace for that understanding,
yeah,
right? Especially in the context of relationship, because there's
absolutely.
like the people that we love the most, that are closest to us, those are the ones who can hurt us the most. Those are the ones that hurt us the most. And so there's grace for the rebuilding process. There's grace, there's forgiveness, there's all these things, these mechanisms and strategies to build our way back. But it's going to take time and effort. Like, literally, when I got the visual, I'm like, you throw a whole bucket out, and then you take one of those little drop
Medicine.
things, little medicine drop things, and you start refilling that. We're going to be here till eternity. We're going to be
Yes.
here until Jesus returns, because
Honestly.
the bucket cannot hold fast enough.
100%. 100%. And so, okay, so I'm just thinking about, and I mean, obviously, I think that part of the human experience is this feeling, experiencing at some point this feeling of betrayal, right? So I'm sure most, if not all, of our listeners have experienced betrayal at some point in life, right?
Hmm.
You
What's
think so?
what's the definition of betrayal? I want to look that up.
Girl, you gonna look it up? All right. Pull it up. Pull it up.
Look, definition of betrayal.
hmm
The action. Ugh, I hate when they give me definitions with the word in it. I hate
I
that.
know.
Like, the definition of betrayal is the action of betraying. No. So disloyalty or treachery. Ooh,
Mm,
that's kind of
that's
okay.
intense.
Sure.
Whoa.
So betrayal means an act of deliberate, like on purpose, disloyalty. I like that.
hmm
Simple, easy,
hmm
easy to understand,
hmm
right? And so it's you knew what you were doing. That's the part. And that's where I think the difference between disappointment and betrayal comes in. Like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you know that you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you.
Or
You know.
someone that you actually truly love or
You
care
know.
about. Yeah.
You know it. There's no
Mhm.
ifs, ands, and we learned, I think, in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Oh no, sorry, I'm lying. What's his name? Erickson's stages of
Oh, of development. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
psychosocial development. The
Yes.
first stage is trust.
I
You
know.
learn from a very, very young age, baby, in
Trust.
fact, before pre-verbal,
Yep. Trust
whether
versus
or not you can
mistrust.
trust some folks and not trust some folks.
Yep.
When you start to say gaga, mama, dada, yes, no, you start to hear your mom tell you yes, you're no, da, 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 don't do that, do this. When you listen, you know what lies are. You
Yep.
know when you're telling the truth. You know your parents always told you to tell the truth. Are you lying, little Johnny? Are you lying, little Sarah? No, mommy, no, mommy. You have the cookie in your hand, you know. But we know. The point is, we know what's right. We know what's wrong. We are taught that from a very, very young age. And so when we're deliberately lying and telling untruths and being disloyal and treating people badly, then I'm sorry, there's consequences for that.
Absolutely.
And the consequences are broken relationships.
Absolutely. So you and I both know that when either clients or even from our own experiences, when we've been betrayed, there's almost a sense of like callousness that creeps in, or it can creep in if you allow it to, right? So you become hurt, and then you're like, I am not going to ever let this happen to me again, as a way to protect ourselves from future betrayal. Can we talk a little bit about even what might be going on there?
Yeah, I think any experience of pain can result in what we call an internal vow, right? Internal vows are, I'm never going to let that happen to me again, or I'm always going to make sure that XYZ. Yeah, that's born out of pain. I think the instinct to self-preserve is human.
Yes.
And I think on some level, it can provide space and room to heal. I just don't think it's a healthy retirement plan. And so if okay, I'm not going to do that in this season right now because I know I need to recover. I need to do, figure out my own patterns, my own, stuff, what have you. Then great, sure. But I think as a long-term life strategy,
Yeah.
especially as a human being who is designed to be in relationship with others, that boundary is not a boundary. It's actually a wall.
Yes.
And so when we create boundaries, we do that for our protection. We do that for our safety, for our healing, and I think boundaries eventually create space to rebuild like healthy, strong relationships. But I think internal vows are more like walls or guards that kind of isolate us.
Yes.
And that prevent us from ever feeling vulnerable enough or choosing to be vulnerable enough to build that kind of deep connection with others. And I've done both. I've done both in my own recovery and learning how to trust again, but learning how to recover well.
Yeah.
And it took some time to realize that I was isolating versus like protecting.
Yeah.
Right. Because when I sit down and I think, oh, I'm so lonely, or I'm, experiencing sort of the pangs of sadness and sorrow, then I start having to ask myself the questions like, wait a minute, Jen, like, what's happening with you? How are you contributing to this experience that you're having that is actually creating more pain than the initial disappointment or the initial betrayal, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it takes some awareness, because I think, sometimes we're just like, I'm just never going to do that again, and we keep it moving, and then
Mm-hmm.
we don't revisit
Mm-hmm.
that statement or that personal promise to
Yeah,
ourselves.
absolutely.
Yeah, we need to revisit.
Yeah,
That, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you talked about the walls and the difference between a wall and a boundary,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because yes, you're right. Like boundaries are healthy,
Yeah,
right? In
absolutely.
which it
Yeah,
helps us to learn from our experiences and then,
yeah.
hopefully, like you said, like build stronger relationships down the
Yeah,
line, right?
yeah.
Or if the relationship after betrayal does still make it, right? Because that happens too,
Sometimes
making
we
sure,
can.
yeah, sometimes,
Mhm.
those boundaries are what keeps it alive, right? Where you both come to an agreement that, listen, this ain't going to happen anymore. So you either
Mhm.
ship up or you ship out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Um, I don't know. It's difficult, and I'm guessing we're talking more about like romantic relationship. I think that would probably be the most challenging
Mm,
betrayal to navigate,
mm,
um, and the one where a wall would do the most damage.
mm,
So walls would do the most harm in relationships that are designed to be intimate and deep,
mm,
right?
mhm,
So if you have a relationship with, perhaps a colleague that you've worked alongside, or a peer that you've worked alongside, or what have you, um, a wall may not be immediately damaging.
mm.
Like it might help, for the time being. Um, but for relationships that are designed to go deep, yeah, you'll probably realize real quickly that the the way that you're responding is going to be unhelpful, and it
Absolutely.
will likely, if there is a desire to preserve the relationship, it will likely do the opposite. It's
Mm,
going to cause that relationship to erode.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The imagery whenever I talk to clients about walls is, I don't know if you used to watch Home Improvement back in
Yes.
the day. I still don't know what Mr. Wilson looks like. I have no idea.
Yeah. I know what Mr. Wilson looks like.
You know what he looks like? Oh my gosh, I have to go look it up. But all I know is his eyes and his
Oh
hat.
yes, yes. He did make an appearance.
Did he?
He did in one of the
I'm
episodes. I'm
I
pretty
must have
sure.
missed I
It
missed
could be.
that episode.
I could be fabricating memories, but I'm pretty sure he did.
I remember there was one time when he came from behind the fence, but he kept blocking his face
His
in
face.
different.
Yes, yes. That was a great show.
Right. And I talk to clients about this wall that sometimes we just do it enough to
Yeah.
for our eyes to peek out because it's our way again of protecting ourselves and kind of walking clients through like, so what is it going to take to actually slowly bring these walls down? But first we'd
Mm,
have to talk about the wall and what it's trying to do for the
yeah,
client,
of
right?
course. I mean, is it worth it to bring the wall down?
I mean,
Who gets to determine that?
we they have to determine it for themselves,
Hmm.
right? And there's cost to everything. Keeping it up is a cost and taking it down is a cost,
Absolutely.
right? And so
Mm.
it's really about navigating that. So for our Love Bay listeners that are like, yeah, I have walls and what? Right? Right? Don't worry. My Love Bay family is sweeter than sweet, right? But how do they begin this process of looking at their wall, looking at the materials that make up the wall, and I guess
Hmm.
beginning that journey to allowing themselves when they're ready to take those walls down?
Hmm. Yeah, I think first would be to recognize recognize that there's a wall.
Yes.
Um, it's difficult at times to really identify like a wall versus a boundary, especially when we're hurt.
Yeah.
If we are reeling from an emotional hit, right? Think of like people in a boxing ring. Like if
Mhm.
you get sucker punched in the face in a boxing ring, it takes a second to like regain some kind of steadiness on the feet.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's the same emotionally. Like when you are sucker punched in the gut or knocked out emotionally, whatever, it's gonna take a minute to like steady yourself. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's blurry, it's fuzzy, you're dizzy, like the Tweety birds are flying around, the cars
Mhm.
are going, and the only thing you know how to do is put your hands up and be like, okay, no, 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 like, or time out, like, and
Yeah.
that's the wall.
Yeah.
Um, and then it just stays up because you're trying to recover. Like
Mm.
you're trying to heal and feel better.
Yes.
So then it can become a part of life.
Yeah.
And so often it becomes a part of the tapestry. Like it becomes like wallpaper. And we just accept the wall as normal. We accept the wall as necessary. And walls show up in very different ways
Mm.
for each of us. Um, and many of us will justify our walls. Many of us will make excuses for our walls. Many of us will decorate our walls. Many of us will be very bravado about our walls.
Mhm.
Um, and all the while, we are missing out on opportunity to build healthy connections and quality relationships with others
Mm.
and with ourselves as well. Because when we put the wall up, we are doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think the first step would be to recognize that there is a wall,
Mm.
that you have a wall,
Yeah.
that the wall shows up in particular ways. Maybe you find yourself in the same relationship over and over. Maybe there's lack of emotional vulnerability and openness. Maybe there's lack of emotional expression. Maybe,
Yeah.
um, there's, I don't know, lack of emotional intelligence. There could be so many things.
Mm.
Um, and that would require like an honest self-reflection,
Yes.
and that's hard. It's hard to confront the self,
Yes.
and to notice like what you've been doing to keep people away, to
Yeah.
push people away, or to step away, or um, withdraw from people.
Mm. Mhm.
And you know, one of the thing, and this is just a personal, and I didn't realize this until again I did some personal work. Um, One of the things that I did a lot
Mm.
was withholding, like
Mm.
withholding affection, withholding my words, withholding my attention, withholding my presence. And I would just be like, I have no time for that. I just can't
Mhm.
do that right now. And I just have low
Mhm.
tolerance for that. And I would say
Mhm.
things like that.
Mhm.
Um, but really it was a guard. It was a way for me to protect myself against having to be open and vulnerable and to
Yeah.
potentially become hurt.
Yeah.
Um, and it was so subtle. It was so subtle and so celebrated. Like, "Oh,
Yes.
Jen doesn't stand for that, and Jen's just" we're
Jen was hurting.
glorifying
Mhm.
right. We're glorifying a maladaptive relational habit,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Um, so again, we have to do some work to recognize
Absolutely.
how our walls are showing up and what's keeping
Absolutely.
us from rebuilding that trust for self and for others. Um, so I think one is recognizing. The other would be, and this again would require a little bit of awareness,
Mm.
um, but maybe not so much. Regulating
Mhm.
is a good way to know
Yeah.
whether or not you have some walls up.
Yeah.
Regulating is like regulating our emotions. So
Mhm.
if you find like you're always on edge,
Mm-hmm.
always on edge. Like you wake up on edge, like you go to sleep on edge. You're in the car and everything bothers you, everything irritates you, everything makes you upset and angry. You are ready. You are ready. You're ready to go off at the grocery store. You're ready to go off at the bank teller. You're ready.
You're
Like
born ready.
you're ready. And like people have to tell you to just like simmer. Your kids are like, you know what I mean? They have side eye. Like
Yeah.
everybody's kind of like waiting for you to go. If that's happening,
Yes.
like you can't regulate yourself, your emotions. Nobody knows when you're gonna fly off the handle. You don't know when you're gonna fly off the handle. You always have a cuss word under your breath. You're always cutting your eye after somebody. Guys, this is food
Yep.
for fodder. This is like, go on and take
Mm.
a closer look at that,
Yeah.
because there's likely something that's underneath it.
Yep.
Whether it's unprocessed grief, unprocessed trauma, unaddressed this, that, and the next thing, or whether it's you need to take a look at this inability to trust.
Yeah.
It's worth taking a look at. If you can't calm down for nothing, yeah, definitely take a look at that. So yeah, definitely like recognize. I think awareness is like so underrated. So
Yeah.
like awareness is like number one.
100.
Regulating your emotions, because that will help you with the third part. And I'd say rebuilding slowly.
Yeah.
And rebuilding slowly sounds like, oh yeah, let's rebuild. No. If you don't have trust, like if you lack trust, if you've lost trust, it's going to take some real effort and some intentionality to start practicing trust again. Start practicing your own trust. I know when I got when I got divorced, I went through my divorce and I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust myself to like pick a good partner, date a good guy. I was like, well, I couldn't pick a good husband. How am I going to pick a guy and like date? I can't do all that. No, I don't trust myself.
Yeah.
So it's something that resonates, like it vibrates on the inside.
Yes.
So I think like doing slow work to practice trusting yourself, others, the environment, practicing trust again. You have to do it in relationship. You cannot do it outside of relationship.
Yes.
Like this is not like, oh, I'm doing my work by myself on a mountain peak in wherever with the yoga chimes. Like this is relationship work. Relationship work has to be done in relationships.
Yes.
Go figure. Because you're by yourself. You know, I'll be by myself. I'll be doing my thing and everything. I live my best life. And then all of a sudden, I find myself in close proximity to another person. And I'm like, oh, I'm reacting. I didn't know that was in there, because when I was by myself, it wasn't there. Of course it wasn't. It wasn't there. You had nobody to trigger it. You had nobody to poke at you. You had nobody to confront you. You had nobody to mirror you. You had nobody to reflect you.
Nobody was buttering your spirit.
Nobody. Like I'm there by myself. No. So relational skills, they have to be practiced in relationship. And I say practice in low stake environments. So if your spouse betrayed you, that's probably not the place where you want to like do your testing. Right? Like that's not the exam room. So you have to practice trusting yourself again. Like
100%.
If you feel shaky about, I don't know, I'm so indecisive about whether or not I should take this course or study this area or change my job, or I should learn to cook or learn to ride a bike, or I don't know. Sometimes it comes out in indecision, right? We're just, oh no, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Start small.
Yes.
Start in the little tiny low stakes things. Because if you learn how to cook and you learn how to ride a bike, everybody's happy. It's okay. Right? So start small in terms of like the rebuilding of the trust. Right?
Absolutely.
And then of course you have to be very vocal. Rebuilding requires a lot of talking.
Yes.
Especially with the people that you feel betrayed by, or that you have betrayed if you are the betrayer. yeah, you have to talk. You have to talk a lot about what happened, how everybody felt about what happened, how we're going to make sure this doesn't happen again, what we're going to do to start out, first step, second step, sorry, first step,
Yep.
1, then it's like not even step 2, it's like 1.1, then it's like 1.2, then it's
Yep.
like 1.3. Like we're taking very tiny incremental steps here. Again,
Absolutely.
lost in buckets, gained in drops. And it's
Yeah.
that everyday consistent revisiting and practicing of the
Yes.
trust muscle that's going to
Mhm.
build a sense of safety and recovery in that relationship. That's the
Absolutely.
only way to do it.
Absolutely. You know, we've talked about the betrayal and the impact. How does betrayal impact or have the ability to impact our self-worth?
Yeah. Wow. I think, and I mean, I've done a lot of work, but I'll speak from my own story because I've walked through it. Um, we okay, let me say it like this. We are humans and we are created for relationship. We're created for
Yes,
this.
absolutely.
We have mouths, we have language, we have facial expressions, we have body language, we
Mhm.
have the capacity to think and to communicate, to emote, to
Yeah.
feel. We have all of these things. We are created for connecting with other people, with other
Yes.
humans and other things, with plants and animals and all the things.
Mhm.
So if we can't do this, we are not living out our fullest potential as humans. So I'll
Mm.
say that first.
Mhm.
Now, that brings some sort of what would we call them? It that brings some guarantees, some
Yep.
necessaries. I don't know, things that are natural outcomes of
Yes.
being a relational being. Okay,
Yes.
that means we see ourselves
Mhm.
through other people
Yes.
as well as through our own eyes.
Yes.
So other people see us. This is why we get to be in community, right? We're in community with
Mhm.
other people can see things about ourselves,
Mhm.
or see things about us, see things in us that we are unable to see in ourselves, and
Mhm.
vice versa. We are able to see things in others that
Yep.
they are unable to see in themselves,
Yes.
and it's by design, right?
Yes.
We're designed that way. That's the whole point
Mhm.
of this thing
Mhm.
um, that we call relationships. So when
Yes.
someone that we love and care for, and that we have been told
Mhm.
loves and cares for us,
Mhm.
um, when they treat us in a way
Yes.
that doesn't align with our definitions or what we've agreed upon equals love and care,
Mhm.
then we start to question,
Yes.
and our internal understanding of our value and our worth starts to erode. Like it takes a hit, right? It's like, wait a minute, hold on. In my eyes and my understanding, this person was a reflection
Mhm.
and an example of how I am loved and cared for and valued and how I'm worthy and all the things. That
Mhm.
doesn't mean we don't have our own. It doesn't mean we can't validate ourselves, none of that. But again, we are born for this,
Mhm.
right? And so this is extremely important.
Yes.
And so when the other person treats us in a way that causes us to
Mhm.
question whether or not they value us,
Mhm.
it starts to affect how we think about ourselves,
Yes.
right? So it's like,
Absolutely.
well, and I'll tell you some of the things
Mhm.
walking through divorce. And again, you know, hit to trust and and ability to choose partners, okay. But
Mhm.
like when you think this person vowed to spend the rest of my life with me and vice versa,
Yes.
and now now they're not. Now we're not
Yeah.
doing that anymore,
Yeah.
right? It's like, wait a
Mhm.
minute, why not?
Yeah.
Why are we not doing that anymore? Was I not
Yeah.
good enough? Like,
Yeah.
was I not whatever
Mhm.
enough? We can come up with a whole list
Yep.
of ERs, right? Taller,
Yes.
shorter, smarter, better, lighter, whatever the ers are.
Yeah.
Um, but but the see, this is the difference between our instinct and our cognition, because we know, like, there are people who are taller, shorter, fatter, smaller, lighter, who cares,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
are married and living their best lives.
Of
So it
course.
can't really be that. But
Absolutely.
internally, it feels like something wasn't enough.
Hmm.
Something wasn't good enough. Something wasn't something enough to
Yeah.
sustain that relationship, or to maintain that level of care, or to maintain that level of kindness, of
Hmm.
love, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So our self-worth, our self-value takes a hit, because it seems as though the other person has not valued us, or deemed us worthy enough to treat us with that level of love and care.
Hmm.
So I'm
Absolutely.
not saying it's true. What I'm saying is
Yeah.
something happens internally
Yeah.
when people treat us poorly,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. 'Cause I know that we take care of what we value, right? So if
Uh-huh.
we should.
Uh,
We should.
I don't think we do. I honestly
We
don't think
should.
I've done enough marriage counseling to know that folks out here, they be valuing stuff and not taking care of it. I'm like,
They should though.
yeah,
You
you,
got a diamond ring and you're just scuffing it and you're just mashing it up. You're
some
taking
people
the
are
ham
careless.
and you're like,
Some people are careless. They're just no, it's true though. It's very true. Some people, I mean, there's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
that's the way it is.
right.
But no, I think in general the principle is true.
Well, it should be true.
We
They
try our best
should
to take care
of the
of what
things
we
that
value, or what we do value.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And then when we feel like that person hasn't done that,
yeah,
right, we develop these negative core beliefs about ourselves.
yeah, yeah,
And it impacts
absolutely.
the way that we see ourselves. It impacts the way that we view the world going forward,
Yeah,
right?
it does. And well, it can. I think it initially it does.
Hmm.
And if we stay there,
Yeah,
um, we can get stuck.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's, again, the difference between an emotional response and like
Mm.
a combination response,
Mm.
right?
Explain the difference between the two.
We can feel a lot of things.
Hmm.
And I think we should have all the space to feel and to feel and to feel. As well as to express that in safety, of course,
Of course.
with friends who won't judge you or who won't try to fix you, or with a good therapist, or with a
Mm.
supportive parent or whatever. But um, unless your parent is y'all get it. Uh, um, I think the combination response is making space and room for all of the emotions,
Mhm.
and engaging your critical thinking capacity,
Mhm.
right? And so or engaging other parts of self that are in good relationship with your thoughts.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
That would be very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, give space and room to the feeling of it. But your feelings were never meant to. Feelings are like a little child. You don't send your feelings, like, to the mall by itself. Like,
Mm.
they aren't capable. They aren't going to make the great decisions. Okay,
Yes.
so you need to have a parent there
Mm.
to tell the child not to buy all of the ice cream with the money that you gave them to go and buy pencils for school,
Mhm.
right? So, and neither were not. I don't think our thoughts were meant to be lone rangers either,
Mm.
right? So I think we need a combination of both. Like, hey,
Mm.
we're feeling the feels. Our feelings are giving us information, and then we need to decipher that information, organize it, and then apply it to our lives in some way. And we
Mhm.
need our brains to do that.
Absolutely. I know that again, and with clients that I see sometimes, this broken trust happens over a long period of time. And by the time that they realize and they leave the toxic relationship, their self worth is just non-existent.
Yeah.
They, even if someone were to say, "Oh my gosh, you're doing like a great job," they cannot. They believe they're lying,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, for listeners tonight that feel like that, like they've just left a toxic relationship, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're trying to set boundaries. They recognize that there's an issue and there's a problem, but their self-worth is just depleted. How do
Wow.
they begin this work of rebuilding that again?
Yeah. Wow. Whew. Yeah, there were so many pieces in there. So
Yeah.
I think, you know, when it comes to like an an ongoing pattern or trend or habit, um, we have to call ourselves to account, because it is likely that we have betrayed ourselves by staying, by continuing to allow this person to treat us in a particular way for the sake of the relationship, for the sake of the kids, for the sake of the job, for the sake of whatever payoffs we were getting. Um, and so at the end of the day, if we choose to walk away, it can become like a self-bashing episode. Like, oh, I can't believe I stayed, and oh, I can't believe I let it go on for so long, and oh, I can't believe I took that treatment for so long. I can't believe it, you know. But I think that's a self thing. Like, we didn't trust our own instincts. We didn't listen to ourselves. And I think what we can do in that moment is two things. Mirror work is a thing, right? But also self-compassion work is a thing, right? So being
Yes.
able to say, I've not about the other person, but I forgive you, me, for staying that long, for letting this person treat me the way that they treated me,
Yes.
for making decisions that my body was telling me not to make,
Mm-hmm.
or for perhaps taking the payoffs and not recognizing how detrimental it was to my internal self, right? So maybe I stayed because I didn't have to work and I could just be a stay-at-home mom or something, and, he paid all the bills. So there was a payoff there, right? Maybe I was paid a really good salary, but every day I had to deal with, like, microaggressions, right? There's a payoff there. So I have to forgive myself for taking the payoff, the thing, over my own health, over my own care, over caring for my heart, over caring for my feelings, over caring for me. And I think that's a real thing. Like, we have to take that step. And
Yeah.
I personally, if I was working with clients, that might not be the first step, because they might need to just get all the things out. I'm so angry, I'm so mad, I'm so
Yeah.
pissed off,
Hurt.
and I'm gonna
Yeah.
blame everything and everybody. And I think there's room for that.
Of
But I think
course.
after that, I would trust that my client would get to the place where they could forgive themselves, right? Really, like, look in the mirror and say, like, hey, I forgive you for not knowing what you know now. Um,
Beautiful.
yeah. Or, like, you made a good decision. Like, here we are now, here we are today,
Yeah.
and we're moving forward.
Yeah.
And it's messy and it's ugly and it's hard and it's painful, but we're not there anymore.
Yeah.
There's some shifting, there's some change, there's some movement, right? And I think we need to
Absolutely.
celebrate that 1 to 1.1 step. It doesn't need to
Absolutely.
be a 1 to
Yes.
10. It's 1 to 1.1, 1 to 1.2 steps.
Yeah. Still movement.
It's movement, So yeah, I think part of that, like, self-worth rebuilding work, um, is forgiving the self,
Yeah.
for not knowing what we didn't know,
Yes.
for making decisions that, you know, were harmful to us.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. You know, I used to say,
Mm.
I can't reach into my 45-year-old self, my 50-year-old self, my 60-year-old self, my 70-year-old. I can't reach into that age and pull
Yeah.
back all the wisdom and lessons.
No.
Right? Like if I could do that,
It'd be
hello.
Chris.
First of all, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, my friend.
Yeah.
I would be like dominating the entire world. Like
Honestly,
I would be like Pinky in the Brain. What are we gonna do today, Brain? We're about to take
going
over.
to take over the world.
So we can't do that though. Time only moves in one direction.
Yeah.
So
100%.
you know, we have what we have. We have the capacity to look back.
Yes.
And to take the lessons learned and to apply them forward.
Yes.
That's powerful. That's
very powerful.
You know,
very powerful.
And then grieve the losses. Grieving the losses and doing that well.
Yeah.
Letting go of letting go, not like suppressing or being in denial. I'm saying like letting go as in walking through the grieving process. For the time spent, the time passed, the pain experienced. And again, it's messy, it's hard, it takes time. Don't try to do it in 6 days. I think as therapists, we're like, we go through the grief process in like a week, and then we spend like the next 10 years trying to figure out like, what was I doing at this stage? I'm like, like go slow. To
go slow is to go fast.
Take your time. Yes. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, forgive yourself, grieve well, take the lessons, sit in it, you know, allow yourself to be messy, feel the feels, like I think all of those pieces, and you know, the grounding piece is important too. Like you're here now, you're not there anymore. You're here now. So and if you're in it, if you're somebody who's in it, that's okay too. That's okay too. If your eyes are becoming opened and you're like, oh my goodness, I need to make some different choices about my life, that's okay too.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that you talked about this reconciliation with ourselves, right? Really turning inward and just really, you know, forgiving ourselves for maybe not protecting ourselves in the way that we wish we had, and just coming to terms with that reconciliation and that, like you mentioned, that grief, right? And grief looks different for everybody. There, you might ugly ball one day, and then another day, you know, you might feel angry, and another day,
go throw some knives. Go throw some knives. Go throw some axes. Like
there's some places where you can actually just go and break stuff. I've heard in Toronto.
Go to what's it called, the break room or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, I need to go and break some dishes, you know, that I don't have to pay for. That's nice.
Break some things. Or go trampolining. You know, that's always fun too.
Absolutely, getting the outlet to just really, you know. But I you're right, and it's messy. It is messy. Rebuilding is messy. Right?
It is. But it's fun.
But it's fun.
Take it from someone. I know we've all been through our experiences, guys. I've been through some crazy stuff in my life, and I can say from this spot, like when I was on the ground crying, like wanting to end my life, I couldn't see this place in 2025. I couldn't see me here smiling and laughing and all the things. I couldn't see this. But there's something inside. You're just like, no, this is not gonna be my end. This is not gonna be the end of my story. You know what I mean? You pick up yourself and be like, wait a minute, you know what? No, this is a moment. This is not my identity. I'm not like this person. I am whoever you are. And I'm moving through it. I'm going through it. And sometimes it's gonna look like bawling on the bathroom floor. It's like that. And other things might look like breaking things. But there will come a day, I promise you, if you just keep, and I'm 10 years out. 10 years out. So I just want to say that because it didn't come quickly. This didn't come quickly. Like joy and contentment and sense of freedom and all that didn't come quickly. 10 years is it's a decade, y'all. Okay. But what I'm saying is, if you keep stepping, if you keep trekking, and you're consistent in that, doesn't mean you won't stumble, you won't fall, you won't all just keep going. Just keep
Mm,
going, like a little bit at a time. You'll get there. You'll get there. We are
absolutely.
designed to recover. We are created to recover. I promise you.
Yes, we have a bounce back. We're resilient.
We are. See, we're rooted in resilience.
Hey, we are.
Shameless plug. No, I'm joking.
Shameless plug. Yes. Gotta get that cornerstone counselor,
Listen, guys, it's a real thing though. I mean, we get to walk through it. And I think as therapists, we get confronted with it so often
Yeah.
that we think it's like a normal thing to lean in
Mm,
and do this kind of no, it's not. It's really
yes.
not. I would
Absolutely.
have avoided it as much as possible if I didn't start doing this work. I'd have been like,
Absolutely.
yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, of course.
Why?
I wish we had more time,
I
but
know.
this has been juicy and sweet and powerful and impactful, and I'm definitely having you again. So
Oh my gosh, of course.
just
Just let
chat.
me
We
know
already know that's gonna
way in
happen.
advance.
You don't know. I'm already okay. We'll talk
You
about
got
it
the
later.
plans. You got the plan.
Uh, but if you could leave one last gold
Ooh.
nugget for our Love Bay family tonight, what would you say?
Hmm. One last gold nugget.
Hmm.
I think my my personal best advice to myself going through hardship, pain, betrayal, trauma is to go slow. Do not try to rush the process. Don't try to do
Mm,
overnight healing. Do not do it will do a disservice to
mm,
you and to your process and to your future.
yeah.
Go slow.
Mm,
Rebuild slowly, brick by brick by brick. You don't want to slap up the Taj Mahal or the
yeah.
CN Tower or
Mm,
the whatever big building, right? You want to build slowly and you want to make sure that foundation is strong, strong, strong
yeah.
and solid, right? So you want to do it slow. Because I did try to go fast. And then I fell flat on my face.
Mm,
And then I learned my lesson. And then I started going slower.
yeah.
Yeah. And you'll enjoy it much more if
Yeah.
you go slow. You'll enjoy the process and you'll also enjoy when you have these moments of celebration where you stop and you look back and you're like, oh, look how far I've come. Look
Yes.
how much I've grown. Look how much I've changed and transformed. Look how much I've challenged myself. Look
Mm,
how much more aware I am.
yeah.
And then, yeah, you'll stop chasing. I remember, this is a complete aside, and I know we're out of time, but I remember talking with a lady who
Yeah.
got divorced, and
Mhm.
she was like, she probably talked for a good hour and a half
Wow.
about her ex-husband.
Hmm.
And I was like going through the social media, all the things, and I was like, man, like caught up with this person as opposed to caught up in like her own purpose. And I was like,
Mm,
that was more heartbreaking than anything else,
yeah.
right? Like if
Yeah.
you do the work, you can leave that stuff behind. It's
Yeah.
going to be with you. Obviously, you're not going to, that part of yourself is not going to disappear. But you can get so caught up in your purpose and in pursuing a life that is content and happy and free and has all the values that you need and want. But yeah, go slow. Go slow,
Yeah.
do that. Get to know yourself again, all the people.
Mm.
So yeah. Guys,
Wow.
it's awesome. Thank you so much for
Wow.
having me, Felicia.
Well, of course, Joe. What a powerful
Fun.
conversation tonight. Genevieve. Jen, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you for reminding us that even after trust has been broken, whether by others or within ourselves,
Hmm.
healing is still possible.
Absolutely.
Rebuilding self worth isn't about perfection or pretending we're okay. It's about learning to show up with compassion,
Hmm.
with grace, and with
Yeah.
truth. And to everyone tuning in tonight, I hope this episode gave you a moment to breathe, to
Yes.
reflect, and to remember that your worth has never left you. You may be healing, but you are not broken. If something from tonight's conversation spoke to your heart, share this episode with someone who might need it. And as always, remember the Mental Health Hour is about community care and connection. Coming up next at 8 p.m., stay tuned right here on Love Bay Radio for our special edition episode, Weathering the Storm, a grief, hope, and healing space for Jamaica and the Jamaican diaspora. We'll be holding space for our community as we process the emotional toll of Hurricane Melissa with guests Natasha Pennycook, Roxanne Francis, and Simone Donaldson. So don't go anywhere. Take a sip of water, stretch, and stay with us as we continue this evening of reflection, care, and connection. I'm Felicia Fishoff, and this has been She Speaks on the Mental Health Hour. So stay rooted, stay resilient, and keep choosing yourself one breath at a time.